Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. Everyone here today is richer than the richest man in the world just 50, 60 years ago. But right now, on Monday morning, could be the greatest moment in your lifetime to be in the stock market, the United States stock market. I'm going to bring you news now that's going to change everything. Trump deals being done like never before in history. Numbers being broken you've never seen before. A China move to change everything like never before. Deregulation, throwing massive amounts of money and deregulation onto US businesses. We now have a thing called a consumption tax. What does that mean? We've heard about tariffs, but no one's speaking about a consumption tax. $3 trillion of investment, the biggest in history. Bitcoin isn't trending on social media and Google search terms. However, it's over $100,000. What does that mean? I'll explain. And the war could suddenly end between Russia and Ukraine on Monday morning. Are you ready for an explosive hour on the stock market? I promised you a face-ripping rally. Some of you think you've seen it because of trade wars, because of inflation coming down. There was a crash. There was blood on the street, but you haven't seen nothing yet. Is the Fed about to turn the money printer on? What about defense? One of the greatest defense deals ever in the history of the world is just been done. No one's talking about it. No one's paying any attention. Should we be paying attention? Have you looked at the numbers? Have you studied what's been going on over the last 24 hours? Have you noticed the deals being signed for AI in the United Arab Emirates? Have you seen the partnerships that have been cemented? Well, get ready. It's all about to explode. The new digital age of AI is here. But now we have a new age. We have a digital golden age. What am I talking about? Of course, I'm talking about XRP. Bitcoin, seen nothing yet. Sit back, relax. I'll give you all the numbers that you need, all the information that you need to make an informed decision and be ready for the markets to open on Sunday night. Welcome to the show. It's lovely to have you all here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And welcome to a Saturday night special. I promised you something special today. That's why I'm in my finest suit and we're ready. It's a Saturday of opportunity, but it could only be in an hour. So, these are some of the highlights I've mentioned, but I am going to go into them in much greater detail. So are you ready? If you are ready, maybe you'd like to tap the like button. It's a historic moment on our show. I think it's the only live stream you need all year. I hope you don't tune out, but it's the only one you really need to set yourself up for life-changing money. Would be absolutely wonderful in the first few moments that everyone could tap the like button. I'm making this as a video, so I want to leave it the way I want it to look later on for those watching tomorrow and next week and next year, because I want this to be an historic video. I hope hopefully by now you've all tapped the like button to share it out to more people, and you've considered subscribing, because you are at the last few moments of being able to be in something very, very special. Because I'm about to head down into 100,000 subscribers, and it's going to happen very, very quickly. And everybody that is a subscriber of my channel, as we approach 100,000, look how fast it's rolling right now, 81,225. Everyone that is in the 100,000 will have a surprise. So I want to thank everyone for being part of our journey, and everyone who is a subscriber before we hit 100,000 will have the opportunity of something that will never be repeated again until we hit 1 million. So consider subscribing. Let's get straight into it. So what am I talking about? There's been lots of things here that have happened over the last few hours, and this is one of them. Let me share with you on the screen. Donald Trump has been in the United Arab Emirates, and he's been doing things, well, that nobody expected. He was welcomed like an emperor, and I understand what that means, being from England, what an emperor is. There's only been a few in the history of the world. He was treated like an emperor. Rightly or wrongly, he was. This is him arriving here at some of the palaces in the United Arab Emirates. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? And deals were signed that haven't made all the headlines they deserve. Now, if you are an investor in crypto, Bitcoin, AI, defense, America, you're about to get a major payback, but only if you're in. And all that accompanies a credit drop from Moody's, all at the same time. Was it political? Was it set up on purpose? Well, it's been done 3 times before in history, and each time followed a rally, except this time it was done on steroids. I'm about to give you all the numbers and the facts that you need. Please watch to the end. You're not going to believe what I'm about to predict. Here is the news for you. So, I believe you are now better off than any time in history to be in the stock market. Everybody here is richer than the richest man just 50, 60 years ago. Not in monetary terms, but in what you have, the lifestyle that you have. But right now, on Monday morning, and I mean Monday morning, within 1 hour, could be the moment that changes your portfolio forever. It's better to be now in the stock market than it ever has been at any time in history. Why do I say these things? First of all, there is less tariff uncertainty now than there's been since we crashed the market. There is the V shape on the screen. You can see that. And I bought in massively on the bottom. I've now gone from $5,000 to $408,000 in my portfolio. No options, no shorts, just the S&P 500. To be completely transparent to you, I don't own crypto, I only own the S&P. I wish I could, and of course I can, but my belief to you is the most important thing. I don't want to be a pump and dump channel. I want to be here to provide the news. When we had all that dip, we had uncertainty. The markets trade on nothing more than certainty. They want to know where they stand. There's less tariff uncertainty now than there ever has been. And I mean ever, because in the past, the deals weren't as good as the deals are about to become, and we know it's not going to get any worse. So we've got less tariff uncertainty than any time in history, if you understand the history of tariffs. The stock market is now, remember, always ahead of the economy. We're ahead of the economy, and we are already focusing on 2026. The economy is still looking at 2025. We, however, investors, are looking forward to 2026. What does that mean? Well, it means because the Fed have been slow to react, we're going to get unprecedented rate cuts in 2026. you should be now investing for 2026. Deregulation will be here 100% in 2026. Companies stronger than ever because they survived the Black Swan event. It was a Black Swan event, and they came through and their earnings were all good. We reported to you that 76% of the earnings were good. They were beats. We expect this to continue going forward. There's much more upside in stocks. The VIX hit 60. Many institutions haven't yet got back in. Most of this, a lot of this, is retail. And in history, retail have been buying more than ever in the S&P 500. VU, the index that I'm in, it's exploded. And that's good, because when institutions jump in, we are going on a face-ripping rally. Pullbacks shallow as most are underinvested. We're going to get a drop tomorrow. I'm going to bring you that information in a couple of seconds, all about Moody's and what it really means. And many are still underinvested. They're waiting for that report. It was always scheduled to happen at the moment Trump announced these deals. It's politics, folks. Get used to it. I have friends who talk to me via X and Instagram from the White House press room. It's politics. So many institutions are underinvested, waiting for one final dip. I will tell you in a second how much that dip will be, and you can decide whether you should buy or not. We now have consumption tax, and we can deal with that. What is consumption tax? Well, you might think of it as tariffs. However, tariffs are transitory, one-off. When I talk about inflation, and this is important, when we think about inflation, it's prices running away, steadily rising, not transitory. What that actually means is when we get an increase, but it stays the same, that's not inflationary. That's transitory. It's a one-time deal. We now have a consumption tax. So this is going to be normal. Markets are learning to deal with it. If they hadn't, they wouldn't have bounced back. Remember, it doesn't matter whether you like tariffs or not, whether you like Trump or not. These aren't important at all to the stock market. The stock market wants to know one thing and one thing alone. Are the odds of the stock market and share prices, odds are going up or odds are going down? Well, to know that, they have to have certainty. We've got more certainty built into the market now than we've ever had for the reasons I've already given you. So we've got a consumption tax, which will be mainly consumed by those that bring in wholesale into the country. Most will not affect, nearly all won't affect inflation, but it will provide lots of money for the United States. The market can handle the bond rates. Many of you are concerned about the bonds where they are, increasing rates on bonds. However, the market has proven to be resilient. It's been battle tested over and over again. Like banks get battle tested, we've been battle tested, and we've risen like the Phoenix, one of the songs that I use on the show a lot. If there is a drop, which there will be, how much will it be? Well, there will be a drop, 100%. At 7 p.m. Central Time on Sunday night, there will be a drop. There's already been a 1.5% drop in the S&P. It could go down another 2, 3, if not 4%. This is why I gave you the information about not buying into the rally and buying the dip at the bottom of the V shape, which is what I did. I went all in at the bottom at the precise time. I'm not going to be buying a 4% drop, but I will buy if it goes below my average on VU, which is 494, which is about 20% down from where we are right now. I've got no intention, in fact 25% actually, so it won't go there. But if you're not in the market, the biggest risk to you is not being in the market for that 1 hour on Monday. We'll come on to that in a moment. So what I'm doing is when it drops, which it will, absolutely nothing. If you're not in, treat it as a last buying opportunity. All of this was predetermined, preset. It's why I gave the information about not buying into the rally. Donald Trump has just done a $600 billion deal in the Middle East with a promise and a commitment of $3 trillion, mainly in defense and AI. These are some of, if not the largest investment in the United States ever in the history of the world. It's incredible. So if you are in AI and you're in defense and you are in the United States and you're in crypto and you're in Bitcoin, you are in for a rally of a lifetime. Bet on America now. Now that coming from an Englishman, when everybody said sell out and buy Europe and all world, I didn't. I bought more, I refinanced, I went all in on margin, and I bought the bottom on the crash. I've not sold a single share, and I've now got over $400,000 invested in the United States. Bet on America now. It doesn't matter if you like Trump or hate Trump. What you're investing on are the deals and the power of America and the dollar. And we're going to talk about the dollar strength in a moment and what that really means. Because now is a unique opportunity that you will never face again in your lifetime. The dollar strength has always been placed on the strength of the military and its control around the world. For the first time in history, the history books have been rewritten. And they've been rewritten so the dollar is now safe, and its strength is not defense, but it is commerce and business and deals. This is the first time ever it's happened. The system is stabilized. It's why Bitcoin is back up 100,000 despite all of this. And this is really, really important. One of the highlights of our live stream today. Everyone's excited about Bitcoin at the moment. They should be more excited about XRP, but they're focusing a little bit on Bitcoin. Now, why is this important right now? And no crypto channel is talking about it. They won't be, because they don't focus on what's important. The real value, not the price action. What is the real value of Bitcoin and XRP particularly? I'm going to use Bitcoin as an example. Bitcoin at the moment is above 100,000, and when it normally rallies like this, it trends on Google. It trends on Google search terms. There's lots of software that I use every day to know what's going on, what's important, and I use a lot of my social media engagement to measure what people are thinking, what they're saying, what they're doing, and so on and so forth. Bitcoin is on one of its lowest trends ever. At the moment, Bitcoin isn't trending at all. Hardly anyone's bothered about it. But yet, it's over $104,000. What does that mean? Well, when it starts to trend again, which it will any day now, it's going to 150,000. There'll be those on X, and I've been talking to them today, making wild predictions. I don't care. I'm based upon facts, numbers, and things I can analyze. And let me tell you, it will correlate with how it trends. Right now, no one's talking about it. You might think you are in your favorite Reddit group or your favorite community on X, but the globe is not talking about it. The wider audience is paying no attention, but it soon will do. Politics is very biased. We're now going to talk about Moody's and where and why this is so important. And also, I want to talk about Coinbase. Coinbase has now just entered the S&P 500. The moment it entered, it fell onto hot water. It got an SEC attacked it with regulation not doing its paperwork correctly. It's not an issue. However, it did get the Coinbase stock price to drop somewhat, and people freaked out a little bit. That was a major buying opportunity on the S&P 500, because I'm going to make a prediction now I made the other day, and this should make, and it's not why I'm doing it, but it should make Bitcoin, XRP, and all crypto investors, and I mean investors, not gamblers, extremely happy. A few days ago, I put out a short video from those that were talking at the SEC crypto event, and they were talking about the future of crypto and so on and so forth. And we were getting a very, very, very bullish sentiment from them. So why did all this happen with Coinbase? Well, it's simply a paperwork issue, but it allowed the stock price to be sold off. So that was a great buying opportunity. But let me make a prediction. It's not even a prediction. It's a statement of fact that just hasn't occurred yet. I'm leaving this on a video, unedited. I'm making this live, unedited, unscripted, even though I've spent hours researching this information. Unscripted, unedited. And I'm going to tell you now that Coinbase and Ripple, when it IPOs, is going to the top of the S&P 500 and is going to replace some of the biggest companies at the top. Nvidia, Apple, and so on and so forth. And the United States is where you need to be for these companies. You need to be in the S&P 500, because when Coinbase and Ripple and all the rest of it go to the top of the S&P 500, where is the limit of the S&P? Where is the limit of the United States economy? There is none. It will run and run and run, and you will be forever chasing. You need to be in now, particularly for 1 hour on Monday. I'm coming on to that. So Coinbase is a huge event that now a crypto brokerage is in the S&P, and it's going all the way to the top. You must be in now. Trump petrodollar. The petrodollar, a new thing, a new deal with the United Arab Emirates that will change everything. The biggest arms deal in history, and most of you missed it. So, finally, the headlines to back up what I've just been saying. Let me show some of it and bring you the Moody story. I really want to share this with you. It's very, very important. Moody downgrades US due to ever-rising debt, high interest payment ratios, just at the moment that these deals were done. Take my word for it. I spend my life talking to people, making relationships, and I know what is being said at the White House at the time that this happened. It's why the market got spooked, went down a couple of % after hours, and why it will drop more tomorrow and then come straight back up. These dips will be shallow. Let me bring you this story. Moody's downgrades United States credit rating, citing growth in government debt. This is essential to understand. Moody's had been holed out in keeping US sovereign debt at the highest credit rating possible, and brings the 116-year-old agency into line with its rivals. Why? After 116 years, did it do it at the precise moment of what's about to happen tomorrow in 1 hour on Monday. I haven't even got to that story yet. Stand by. The decision to lower the United States credit profile would be expected at the margin to lift the yield that investors demand in order to buy the US Treasury debt to reflect more risk, and could dampen sentiment towards owning US assets including stocks. Moody's ratings cut the United States sovereign credit rating down 1 notch to AA1 from AAA, the highest possible, citing the growing burden of financing the federal government's budget deficit and the rising cost of rolling over existing debt amid high interest rates. Rates are about to plummet. This 1-notch downgrade on our 21-notch rating scale reflects the increase over more than a decade in government debt and interest payment ratios to levels that are significantly higher than similarly rated sovereigns, the rating agency said in a statement. But why, after 116 years, on the night that we have the news for Monday? The decision to lower the United States credit profile would be expected at the margin to lift the yield that investors demand in order to buy the US Treasury debt to reflect more risk, and could dampen sentiment towards owning US assets including stocks. That said, all the major credit rating agencies continue to give the United States their second highest available rating. The yield on the benchmark 10-year Treasury note climbed 3 basis points in after-hours trading at 4.48%. The iShares 20-year Treasury bond ETF, a proxy for longer-term prices, fell about 1% in after-hours trading, while the S&P 500 ETF trust that tracks the benchmark index for US stocks dropped by 0.4%. Moody's had been a holdout in keeping US sovereign debt at the highest credit rating possible, and brings the 116-year-old agency into line with its rivals, Standard & Poor's, the S&P 500. Why? Why at this last precise moment? Successive US administrations and Congress have failed to agree on measures to reverse the trend of large annual fiscal deficits and growing sentiment. We do not believe that material multi-year reductions in mandatory spending and deficits will result from current fiscal proposals under consideration. Massive deficit. The US is running a massive budget deficit as interest costs for Treasury debt continue to rise due to a combination of higher rates and more principal debt to finance. The fiscal deficit in the year that began October the 1st is already running at $1.05 trillion, 13% higher than a year ago. Revenue from tariffs helped shave some of the imbalance last month. In a statement accompanying the downgrade, Moody's analysis wrote, if the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is extended, which is our base case, it will add around $4 trillion to the federal fiscal primary, excluding interest payments deficit over the next decade. As a result, we expect federal deficits to widen, reaching nearly 9% of GDP by 2035, up from 6.4% in 2024, driven mainly by increased interest payments on debt, rising entitlement spending, and relatively low revenue generation, Moody said. We anticipate the federal debt burden will rise to about 134% of GDP by 2035, compared to 98% in 2024. The Moody's downgrade came as the GOP-led House Budget Committee on Friday rejected a sweeping tax package as part of President Trump's economic agenda, including extended tax cuts first enacted in 2017. But let me tell you, folks, what's actually going to happen. We are going to get rate cuts, and the biggest rate cut and the fastest rate cuts move in history. And it's all coming in 2024. 2026. I just had to use my face to open my phone. I'm going to wrap this up with my final headlines for you here. That will change everything. You need to be in for the final statement I'm about to make. The downgrade is irrelevant. It's political and it makes no difference. It does, however, present you the opportunity to buy the stock market within 1 hour tomorrow. Why? More deals being done in the spaces that will move. Anthropic closes on a $2.5 billion credit facility as Claude continues to impress investors. We've got deals being done left, right, and center. OpenAI, Nvidia, Cisco may be part of a new 5 gigawatt data center project in the United Arab Emirates. You've seen nothing yet. What they're doing is going to change everything. And understand this. Gold hit with biggest weekly percentage drop in nearly 4 years. People turn to gold in times of uncertainty. They'll sell it as quick as you like to buy the S&P 500. And it's all going to happen tomorrow. On Monday, which will be the 19th of May. Why? There's one more piece to this puzzle. Donald Trump is making a phone call at 10 a.m., which will be 9 a.m. for me as the market just opens on purpose to Vladimir Putin. And if I am right, and if everything I have heard from the White House and all the information I have read that you haven't seen, if I am right, the war will end. We will have a ceasefire in Russia and Ukraine Monday morning. Am I right? Only time will tell. But I'm going to tell you now, I am going to make these predictions. Sunday night at 7 p.m., you're going to see the market drop. You're going to see it go down on all of this. It's political. After 116 years, they move hours before this happens. You'll see a drop. It'll be your opportunity to buy. There won't be a massive drop. You shouldn't be buying if you're already in. If you bought the V shape like I did, I'm remaining in. I'm not going to sell anything unless it goes below my average, which is about 25% down from here. If it doesn't, I do absolutely nothing. The Fed, I said this year, will drop rates twice. That's it. I said it's a 10%, and I said that from about a year ago. I've never changed. I have said there will be a 10% year this year. There will be. That's it. No more. No less. If you bought the bottom, it's a 35% year. We went down 25%. But so far, we're flat on the year. I'm up, of course, because I'm using margins. I'm amplifying because I really believe what I'm saying. I'm doing it with my real money. I talk to CEOs. I talk to everybody connected. I've got no doubt in my mind it was the right thing to do. And so far, you can see it most certainly is. Rate cuts will come down in mass next year. MMA, mergers and acquisitions, IPOs will surge. Money coming into the United States will surge. You don't want to be buying a pump. You want to be in, because over history, only a handful of times in the life of any man or woman, if you were in the market on a handful of times in a whole lifetime, that is what you need to set up your portfolio for life. Being in and chasing the market might still prove well after a number of years, but if you bought in and you were in at the right time on a handful of occasions in an entire lifetime, that is what sets you up for a lifetime. On Monday morning, I don't know why I keep saying tomorrow, it's Saturday. On Monday, you're going to get an announcement from Trump. I predict, maybe I'll be right, maybe I'll be wrong, but I think All of this was done on purpose. And we'll get a deal on Monday. But whether we do or whether we don't get a deal on Monday, the market is still going to boom. Not straight away, but you need to be in. 2026 is going to be incredible. I wish everybody the very, very best. I asked you at the beginning of this video if you would tap the like button and join me. Join the Lucasades. I'm trying to do something different that nobody does. Nobody on YouTube does this. I try to make my videos live, unedited, unscripted. All the scene changes, all the information is me live. So I can have you live in the chat. So it's a real event. After all, I am the world piano man. I'm used to putting on a show and entertaining. It's how I feel most comfortable. I don't edit these videos, I make them for real. And I said to you, I wanted to give everybody something special who joined me on the journey. So I invite you, and it won't be many more times I can say this. Looking at Nvidia there, that's going to go to 140 on the earnings, by the way. I just thought I'd drop that in. But this right here is what I'm offering to you now. 81,250. It just keeps rolling around. If you are a subscriber and you are one of my members and you are in at the beginning, before we reach 100,000, there's going to be some special thing for you. After that, too late, you missed it. These are the founder members, the original members. Join me on our journey to 100,000 subscribers. This is a real chart as it's turning around. You can see it doing that in real time. That's not edited. That's not made up. That's as it happens live. Thank you very much, each and every one of you. My desire has always been to sell out Wembley Stadium. Wembley Stadium is 100,000 seats. So that's what I'm trying to do, get 100,000. The next time there'll be a big special event, it'll be 1 million. So there we go. Before I leave you, I would like to give you some links that will help you and some services that I'd like to provide. First of all, if you'd like the software that I use, which helps you get ahead of the game, information before you see it on Bloomberg and CNBC, I pay for the highest level of premium services, and thereby I can offer you free trials, discounts to that software. There it is in the chat, Seeking Alpha and Alpha Spread. If you'd like to join me every Friday for our celebrations, it's my music channel. We did an XRP and Virgin Galactic party last night. It was a lot of fun. Please subscribe to the music channel. If you'd like to follow me on X and Instagram and know about these events before they happen, know about my trades before I report on them on YouTube, I will tell you if I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning, buying, selling, who I'm talking to. I share everything on X and Instagram. If you want my newsletter, there is the all links. If you want to follow us live 24 hours a day, there is the extra channel. By the way, these links are below. If you'd like to get something special to mark this occasion, this is our shop, martynlucasshop.com. We are celebrating with Buy Like Buffett. My own mug. We've got all licensed products. Buy Like Buffett. Buffett is now retired. You can get a Buy Like Buffett. What do I mean? I mean buy with conviction, with knowledge and power. So there is the shop if you wish to get that. Lastly, we now have the best, the most supportive, the most cost-effective, and I know because I've checked, Discord server online. We now provide a Discord premium service. There is the link in the chat. When you click on it, you will see this. And what I'm going to give you now is going to blow your mind. This is our Discord server. We've just gone over now to a premium service. We only have 107. There's a reason for that, because we don't want thousands. We want people that we can help provide a valuable service. You click on join server, it does nothing. There are no channels available to you. If you want the channels, it is just $2.99. It's the cheapest we can make it. Comparable servers are charging $50 and $100 a month. We charge $2.99, so everybody who wants our service can get it. You click here. What do you get? Well, that's the only way you can message me directly. No emails, no phone numbers, no texts, no nothing. If you want to message me directly and ask me a question, I will support all of my premium members. Number 2, we have training videos coming out. So we provide stock chart reading. You can talk to a professional scalp trader who's paid thousands to learn. You can talk to Sensei, who does our crypto and chart analysis. These are the only ways you can talk directly. And there's going to be many, many more things added to the server in the coming weeks and months ahead. I promise that I will never increase the price of any of my services, including inflation. It'll get cheaper and cheaper over time. The last thing that you might like is become a member of this channel. There is the link. If you are on an iOS device, select a browser, desktop version, and you can become a member. There are members-only videos, members-only live streams. I reply personally to every single one of your comments on YouTube. There are many interviews with CEOs that are only members only. There are members only videos and chats you've never seen because they're all members only. You can order your own stock review. You can order your own earnings and many other perks besides. You can sponsor the channel for $99. I don't take corporate sponsorship. I get offered money all the time. I only take it from my viewers who follow and support the show. I've had $30,000 offered to me to do a crypto promotion. It's a no from me. If that person had become a member and a viewer of our channel, they could have bought it for $99. That's what I do. That's my promise. That's my commitment to you. Last of all, if you want free stocks from Robinhood USA and free stocks from Robinhood UK, there they are. That's it from me. I am all done. I am out of here. Thank you very much indeed. Did we get a few more subscribers by the time I'd finished? Let me have a quick look. This is live, unedited. Let's have a look at it. 81,259. Yep, we're on the way. What? It's speeding up. I told you we'll be at 100,000 now very, very quickly. And everyone who's a member and part of it will get something special. Okay, I'm going to end this live stream, but before I do, in full tradition of this channel, we've always done it, we always will, we always serve our members and answer questions live on the show, unedited. Let me switch over to members only mode. Here we go, we're in members only mode now. If you would like to ask me a question, if you'd like me to share a comment on the screen that I have missed, not seen, now is the chance to do it. I will share your comment on the screen. I will answer your question live right now. So, are you ready? Here we go. Dark Rider, become a member. Thank you very much. Zach Zate said subscribe right now. JJ Ball, indeed. Welcome, Leah. Welcome, Craig. Thank you for the live show, Martin. It's much appreciated. You're very welcome. It's a big, big weekend, folks. The Piano Man, that is me. That is me indeed. Welcome, Dark Raider. Dope, Dark Rider. Okay, anybody else? We're running out of time. I'm going to only another minute, and then I'm going to end this stream. Dope. It's the time 7 p.m. Central Time for the predicted dip. Yes, 7 p.m. Central Time on Sunday. Yes. Welcome. Thanks. What do you think about space for Monday or Tuesday? I've just put out 2 videos that you might like to see. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will do this, as that was your question. On the moon, yes, we have our very own hashtag now, on the moon. I just put out a couple of videos you might like to go and see as I end this stream then. Sensei has just done your chart for Virgin Galactic. It's a historic short squeeze. It could emulate GameStop. It's happening live right now. On Monday, I'm talking to some of the biggest investors in the world on Virgin Galactic right after the opening bell. I think it's going to be a members only event because I want to be able to ask. I want you to be able to ask them your questions, and if it's too busy, we won't be able to do that. So that's what's happening on Monday. You might want to watch this video first. Sensei provides you with an absolute crucial viewing XRP chart and what's going on. I introduce it and there is Sensei. I also recorded this special moment here. I would love you all to listen to this, because if you listen to this, this emulates the love and the power and the commitment that we have by the Lucasades. If you listen to this, you might want to go and subscribe to the music channel. And then the event itself, Monday morning, is here on the homepage. Upcoming live stream, the Virgin Galactic interview. Way bigger, way more exciting than GameStop. You have it ahead of everybody. I want to thank everybody who's become a member during this live stream. I think it's been one of the best ones. Thank you so much. Let me end the poll. The poll was, are you ready now? Are you ready now? I'm so proud because the answer, I'm going to share it on the screen right now in live so you can see. Are you ready now? That's the purpose of this show, not sell videos. We go live to help people make money. Are you ready? 78% of you are ready. End the poll. Thank you very much. There's the links at the top that you may have missed today. Make sure you watch all of those. I can see someone just subscribed to the Extra channel. The Extra channel is live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's off air for the next half an hour. I'm updating. It'll be live again in a minute. If you want to discuss and you want to be live on the open together without nonsense and trolls and bots, here is the link to Extra in the chat. It'll be live in half an hour. You can all join in and you can talk to each other. It restreams today's events, but the chat is live because we have people joining from around the world at different times. So you might like to go and do that right now. Okay, everybody's ready? All right, that's it from me. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Be ready for the open, 7 p.m. Central. Sensei will be live at 3 p.m. on Sunday, tomorrow, for your Sunday night show. He'll also be back, of course, for the breakfast show. I'll be back after that with our special live interview with the biggest investors in the world on Virgin Galactic. But that's it from me. Thank you for joining me. Now, this will take you directly to the XRP event you missed this morning. And then after that, in half an hour, I will give you the link to Extra. All right? Extra will go live. If you subscribe to it, there's the link. You'll be notified 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's it from me. Have a wonderful evening. I wish you all the very best. I'm from England, but I believe in and I invest in the United States of America. Have a wonderful evening. Click above my head for all the links. There will be links later down below in the description and in the comments. And over here, there'll be 2 videos later on that'll explain and make sense. They're not there now because I'm making it live. That's it from me. Have a wonderful evening. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.